I wanted to do a little follow-up on a review of that unit because I said it was the same as the Ryobi, or at least I was pretty sure. And I walked into the Ryobi a couple weeks ago, and I'd say they are the same. Now I'm more and more convinced it's just a little external plastics, different molding, but I mean, they're pretty much identical. So the stickering, you know, EGi-2300, 1800 running, 2300, 1800 running, same recoil, same mechanism. I'm actually going to buy the Echo plastic and replace this one because this, I couldn't find the part for it, but I've taken the casings off. Everything looks the same. So even the handles, I mean, same wheels, you know, same wheels on this one, the same. Like, I'm convinced these are the same. Even it looks like they're made by the same company. Obviously, I don't know if the motor is 100% identical. Let's say the, you know, different, better quality parts used in the Echo versus the Ryobi, because you really can't find information about, okay, here's expected run life of these, you know, here's what, you know, how it performs. Like, you just can't find that information. So really the information you can find in reviews is loudness at different loads, at different distances, and will it really do, you know, 1800 running. So that's where I'm on these. Now I am going to take the side covers off and I'll show you internals, but even the side cover mechanism, same with the goofy long bolt through there. But let me take those off and then I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to first show you the back and then I'll show you the sides. So the back panel pretty much looks the exact same design. The muffler, you know, it looks identical to me. Like, there's a little difference on the plastic, on the molding on the bottom, this one versus that one, but the actual muffler, besides this one, the screw going the other way. Who knows though, if that came from the factory. Both of these I bought used, but you know, this part, same exact design, just different color and slight differences on the mold, in my opinion. All right, I pulled the side covers off and you can see definitely made by Ducar. And what's this one say? Ducar. So I would say same manufacturer, for sure. In China, I'm sure it's made in China, but you know, what are the material differences? Are there differences? Who knows? You know, you can see, like, internally any differences. I don't see anything. Nothing sticks out. It's the same air filter assembly. So on the other one, I put in a magnetic dipstick, and I'm going to do it on this one. So you can see I put in the magnetic dipstick right here. But all these boards, all the wiring, I mean, the fuel filter, I can't see any difference. So, and then when it comes to the engine, even the index is the exact same. So this has 3 and this has 3. And they both say 125-hour compliance level, which is kind of a joke on a generator because it's a generator and it's running all the time. So like this one now maybe has 1 hour on it. When I bought it, it had 0.1. This one has like 110 hours. When I bought it, it had 75. They were both used. This one retails for $1,000 and I paid $630 for it. This one retails for $700 and I paid $200 non-running, and it ended up just being the carburetor. So anyways, for people who are confused or think, hey, is it worth to buy the Echo? That's up to you. Of course, Echo has the dealership network. I repair all my own equipment. I don't let bad gas sit in them. But I am more and more convinced these units are identical except for some plastic, the molding. So the only other thing I was going to say too is, so the gas cap on this one definitely feels crappier. I don't like this cap. It doesn't have like a closable vent. This one has the closable vent. But I am sure it fits on here. So I could always order one from the Echo dealer and just throw it on there. The handle setup, this one I kind of like better, and it pains me because I'm an Echo fan. I never really loved Ryobi that much, but it's narrower. So with these, you have this sticking out on the sides. You can see how it sticks out. The Ryobi doesn't have that. So when you're carrying it, you know, if you're carrying it by the side of you, grab it like this. This one's actually a little easier to carry. And then if you're going to carry it lengthwise, you can grab it by the handle on this one and this one. You know, this, you can't grab it on the sides at all. You really got to carry it here. And then these handles feel a bit redundant to me, because it's more awkward to grab it like one hand here, and carry it. And I understand not everybody is, you know, they have different limits of what they can pick up. So maybe you do have to use two hands. When I carry it, I use one hand on the handle, on the main handle here. But the only complaint I have on these, and I have no idea why, is once they've been sitting, they're hard to start. And I use either True Fuel or, what is it called? Aspen 4, I believe it's called. But those ethanol-free and non-gasoline or synthetic fuels for storage, because it's a generator. I want it to start when I'm going to need it. This one, I got it started today. It was sitting for a month. It took me 15 pulls. This one, I couldn't start it. I had to spray it with ether. And that's where take this vent tube off and spray it with ether in there. Started perfect. Same thing you can do on this one if you're having trouble starting it. I almost gave up, but then it did kick a little, and I was like, well, it's fine now, and I know it will start, and then started 3 pulls later. But that is really my only complaint on these. Once they've been sitting, they're hard to get started, and I'm not sure why, because the fuel should be fine. You know, both of those fuels I use are designed for storage, and that's why, like, I don't even run ethanol free for storage on something like this. I use the synthetic, and that's my complaint. But besides that, I think they're the same. I know I commented that on a previous video, but I didn't have two side by side to compare. What do you think? That's what I'm curious what other people think. And if you have a Ryobi, let's say you can't find the parts or your dealer is hard to get them to, I would say just buy the Echo. They're, you know, that side cover, I couldn't find the Ryobi, but I am going to order that Echo one and see, it should work, because all the molding looks to be identical. Anyways, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. All right, and then one more comment I wanted to say too. Like, both of these are labeled as the GE80. This looks like a serial number, would be my guess. Same on the other unit for what that represents. The motor blocks are labeled GE80. I don't know if you can read it. There it goes. This one's a bit harder to read. I'm trying to get an angle. There it is. So that's actually 2088. I think that's the serial number off the block, but maybe it's a model part number. Anyways, for the differences, maybe there's some differences in the motors, you know, the cylinder coating. Who knows? Maybe the material or machining differences. I doubt there would be anything with machining, but my guess would be materials, or even like muffler, quietness, some things on the boards. But again, they're looking awfully similar. Anyways, well, thanks for watching, and hope that helps. And then the last thing I was going to say, so this video isn't made to compare different decibel levels and all that. Like, this is just a very quick, hey, from the externals, popping the sides off, do these units have differences? To me, it looks like no. And that's the purpose of this. I just want to make sure I'm not going into an in-depth review like Johnny's Weekends, where he does a great job going through decibel levels at different lengths, you know, from a different length to the unit, over different medium, like in his driveway versus grass. That's really not what I'm going for here. It's just a quick look at these two to say, this one is quite a bit more. What do you think? Is it worth it? It's up to you. And this one obviously is quite a bit less, and I think they're the same. And you can parallel these together, is my understanding. So I don't have a parallel kit. I'm not sure if I'm keeping both or keeping one, giving one to a family member or something like that. I'm really not sure. But I know you can parallel them, because you don't actually even need the same wattage generators to parallel, is my understanding. But you just buy the kit, throw them together, and they work. And then both of them, one thing I really do like is the app. On either of them, you have the command panel, and then you can start the app up. It's awesome. It says, you know, how much of a load you're at. You can remotely shut it down. I really am impressed by the app, and I have no complaints for it. And both of them I'm happy with. I think both of them are great generators. I'm not complaining. I didn't want to spend the money on a Honda, so that's why I didn't get it. I understand Hondas are the best. Everybody knows that. I don't know, for my use case, it's probably not worth it to spend the money on a Honda. These are for emergency backup, if I need to lend to somebody. They're not running, you know, daily. Maybe they're going to run once a year, would be my guess. That's one of the reasons I store with True Fuel or Aspen. But I'm not using these heavy at all. So, all right, thanks again.